Welcome to transforming your service delivery with Zoho Desk. Okay. Just to give you a brief about Zoho Desk is a ticketing application that helps you with managing your support levels. If you've got SLAs, for example, if you manage within a contact center, it helps you keep track of every issue that has been raised by customers, particularly those issues that couldn't be solved on first contact resolution. Which industries are you able to use Zoho Desk? Virtually any industry, as long as you have a support function that you want to measure and ensure that customers are getting supported adequately. So just a simple example, in telecoms, you can have a contact center. Customer calls in, their issue cannot be resolved by the contact center agent firsthand, and then you use the ticketing system to log it further so that it can be resolved by someone else or by the same agent, but because it takes a longer time, they're able to ticket that and then raise that. So that's one example of a way you could use it, even in the contact center environment as well. This could be via email, where your customers can email you directly into the support center, and those emails immediately create a ticket, and your team then supports based on those tickets. It can be even used via social media. If you are supporting any of your potential customers or customers via social media, then you are able to also connect to your social media, whether that be it Facebook or Instagram or X/Twitter. Then you are able to connect that to the platform and also have tickets being created automatically. For example, when you message your business or direct message your business, the proverbial DMs directly to your business, and that automatically also creates a ticket onto the platform. It can also be applied, let's say, in a non-contact center environment. Maybe you are an IT business and you support your IT customers who are using your IT services, or any customer where you may have an SLA. Right. So you can say, okay, so our SLA with this specific customer is it can be priority based, for example. This type of issue needs to be resolved within 2 hours. This one within 24 hours, this one within 48, and so on. It can be customer based as well, where you can say this particular customer gets my full attention, maybe because they're your highest value customer. So if when there is an issue, I want someone on it, I want to be able to solve majority of their issues within the first 6 hours, for example. If they're easier issues, maybe you're looking at solving them within a shorter space of time, but you can categorize your customers or the issues that are being raised by customers and then give them a priority level. You can even say, let's say maybe you have a high value customer segment, or you segment your customers in any way, and you have a high value customer segment, and this high value is supposed to be taken care of by your most skilled agents or support technicians, for example. Then whenever that customer or anyone in that from that customer raises an issue, it gets allocated to the right people so that they can actually quickly get to it. And because you're giving it to the most skilled of your staff members, then that probably gets taken care of better and without multiple escalations. Maybe you are sending them to the highest level of your escalation from the get-go. So you're able to do some of that on the ticketing side. You can even use it for HR support. You can even use it for field service technicians, where a ticket can be raised by a customer and then someone has to go out to the customer. And when they're there, they're able to handle the ticket and then also close it while on their mobile, for example. Another channel that you are able to use with Zoho Desk is also WhatsApp. So you're able to have your customers use the WhatsApp number, use their WhatsApp into your WhatsApp number, and that automatically creates a ticket as well. And in that ticket, you can have a conversation directly to their WhatsApp from your Zoho Desk, whether you are using the desk or the mobile application. And just to mention there, Zoho Desk also has a mobile application, where you can do practically anything that you're able to do on the web function. Okay. You're also able to use it in retail and e-commerce to support customers. Customer buys something from you, they have an issue, they can raise it. That it can be an issue where the product is defective. It can be an issue where maybe it's damaged and it's covered under warranty or not. You can do that as well. We have a lot of implementations on Zoho Desk with IT companies, security companies, and companies that have contact centers, as well as companies that have a retail that manufacture and then support that manufacture and distribute to wholesalers or retailers, but then support the warranties directly as themselves as well, where you're able to set up that ticketing system and then the customers are able to raise issues directly with you. Okay. So that's in terms of what you are able to use Zoho Desk on. The key features on Zoho Desk, other than the channels that we've talked about, you're looking at the ticketing function itself, where you're able to where people raise the tickets and then communicate, and you are able to communicate and manage those tickets until you resolve the issues. So that's one. It also has a knowledge base where you're able to set up a knowledge base. So this knowledge base can be inward facing or outward facing. When I say inward facing, that means only your agents or your team members, your staff can see it. And then outward facing is when your customers can be able to see that database. Right. So now let's say, for example, a lot of businesses would have an FAQ page on their website. So in this case, your knowledge base can act as your FAQ, but it will be a more robust FAQ, which is also searchable, whereby you're able to put in all the information that you want a customer to know, either about the product or about issues with the product that they may experience with the product, how to resolve those issues by themselves without necessarily having to contact you, and any other questions that you may think the customer wants to ask. So this will go through a little bit of the knowledge base as well, but this knowledge base can be so robust as to have as it's rich text, and so robust as to have images, videos, and so on. So it's a very good way of making sure that your internal staff have the knowledge that they need to serve the customer, but also making sure that the customers as well have the knowledge that they need to be able to assist themselves, meaning that they don't necessarily have to call you. So depending on what type of customer you are, me as an example, when I get to if particularly with software, if I can solve it on my own, I would rather do that than try to. I'd rather do that than try to talk to someone instead. I'd rather go through documentation that the company I am getting services or from has, and then read that and then resolve the issue on my own without necessarily talking to someone. You've got customers that prefer to go directly as well, so then you give them those two types of customers both options by using the help desk alone, where I can create a ticket. I can even call, because you can integrate as well the telephone into Zoho Desk, meaning I can call the phone call ring on Zoho Desk. I'll answer it, and then I can decide whether to create a ticket or not if I am the agent. So it's a very robust platform in that way. So we've talked about the tickets module, and then we've talked about the knowledge base. You also have the customers. So as your customers or your customer base is sending in or creating tickets with you, you accumulate a customer database. So you can accumulate this customer database before and then load it onto Zoho Desk, and then you've got it with their first name, last name, email address, phone number, whatever other details that you're capturing there. Or when they raise a ticket with you, that's because it automatically creates the contract. You can then edit the contract once you have more information about them, in order to make sure that all the details are actually correct about that particular customer, but it automatically creates a customer. Then you've got activities. Activities covers tasks in and around those tickets. So you can attach a task to a ticket, events, so meetings in and around those tickets as well, and calls that are being made in and around those tickets as well. So you're able to capture those, and you're able to schedule and log all of the things that I've mentioned there. Then you've also got a community module. So a community module is where your customer base themselves are able to help each other with answers, as opposed to you being the one who's always answering their questions. So I, as a customer, am very skilled at the products or services that you use. Maybe I've been using them for years. I've got a lot of answers because I've experienced everything with your products that can be experienced. I've managed to resolve or get assistance already to resolve those issues. When you put me in a community with others, and I'm a happy customer of yours, I'm normally very happy to actually help other customers with the knowledge that I've accumulated. You, as well as the business, will be able to moderate the community as well, but your other customers are able to answer and assist other customers. And what you're able to do as well is score them directly on the community page in terms of how, based on their answers, how accurate their answers are, and then score them in terms of their participation. So it gamifies it to where I'm not getting a monetary reward to do this, but I like the score that I'm getting when I'm assisting other customers. And then you can also use that in terms of your looking at the customers who you need to either focus on retaining because they contribute a lot to that, and making sure they're happy also helps them help your other customers as well. And any rewards that you may want to give them, you can use that to do that as well. Whether it's discounts or whatever it is you may choose to do in the future for those particular customers who are eager to assist the rest of your customer base for no pay, essentially, which happens a lot, particularly if you go to the Zoho ones. You see a lot of customers that are helping other customers get their stuff done with Zoho applications. Okay. Then you have the social modules which help us connect to social, and then you have the chat, which helps us connect to what is called Sales IQ, which is a live chat application where you can also program a chatbot as well in that. But that's not part of today's presentation, but it is part of the modules that come with Sales IQ, and you are able to engage with the customer on the chat as well. And then you've got IM, instant messaging, which is where WhatsApp comes in, Telegram, among other chat applications that you are able to connect into CRM. So I'm going to go through this ribbon at the top here all the way to the end, and then I'll start going through each module separately. Whenever you arrive in Zoho Desk, you normally arrive on the ticketing module, although you can change where you arrive. For example, if you want to arrive on your landing page, your personal landing page, to be the knowledge base, you're able to do that, or customers or analytics or whatever else where you want to land in, you are able to select that. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Here we've got the tickets module that I talked about. We've got the knowledge base where you can store all the information that gives answers to your products and services. Customers, where your customers will be maintained. And then analytics, where all the reporting. So two types of reporting: your Excel-like reports and then your dashboard reports is where you find them. You've got activities where you can track the tasks, the meetings, and the events. Task, meetings, and calls, around the tickets. And then your community, where your customers are actually have their own logins and they're able to interact and assist each other, and you're able to moderate that. Social, your connection to your social media platforms. Chat, which is the Sales IQ, which is the live chat environment. And then you have IM, which is instant messaging. Okay. Then here, if you have multiple departments, you would be able to see them here, your departments. So here you can see you can create multiple departments within the Zoho Desk. So these can be, for example, if you're supporting different things, maybe this is customer care, and then maybe this is technical support, maybe this is another department. And this allows you to have some sort of segregation between the elements that are in your support. Maybe in your case, it might be first level, second level, third level support. So you're able to do that using the departments area of that. And then next to it, we have the quick create. So here, the little plus here, I can quickly create a ticket. So your users internally can also create tickets on behalf of your customers. So they can use that. But also here, there's a quick create as well, that we can create a ticket. So that's the tickets. The article is in the knowledge base. Account is part of your customers. Account would be the company that a customer might work for. Contact, so if you use CRM, you see the naming here is essentially the same. Contact is the person who works for that company. But you can have contacts that are not associated to any companies. You've got a report, which is also under analytics here, but this is the Excel looking reports that we're talking about, and then the dashboard, which has your dashboards. And then you've got topics, which would come under community. And then you've got calls, tasks, and events, which all come under the activities side of things. Okay. So you're able to quickly create any one of these items directly into Desk by using this drop-down arrow here. Then you've got a search function here where you're able to quickly search. So if I click that search function, it will come in the middle, and in there I'm able to select where I want to search. So because I'm on tickets, it's going to say search tickets first. Right? So I can search any ticket. So or a ticket ID or the information stored within the ticket ID and the subject or in the body, right? But I can also select where I want to do the search. Maybe I want all the modules, meaning I'm searching from knowledge base, accounts, contacts, activities, products, wherever it may be. So I'm able to do that using the search function there, which also brings me to products. If you are able to load your products or /services into Desk so that you can use them for the tickets. So you are able to say this ticket is for this customer and the product in question is this one as well. So that makes your reports robust and also makes the people who are handling the tickets know what they're talking about or what they're dealing with specifically with the customer. And you're able to add multiple products with one product per ticket, sorry. And then, so that's on the search. You're also able to do advanced search, which we'll go through as we are actually handling some of the tickets. And then here, if you have more than one Zoho application, particularly if you're on Zoho One or you have other Zoho application, you're able to search across all the Zoho apps for that particular thing that you're looking for. Okay. Then here are notifications. So whatever happens on the desk pertaining to you as the user, you will get notified. So if a ticket is created and assigned to you, you get notified. If a customer replies to that ticket, you also get notified so that you're always abreast with whatever is going on with your tickets so that you don't miss a beat in terms of responding to your customers, assisting your customers, and so on. And these are the notifications. So here you can see here we've got ticket that was assigned to. This is our user in this demo, which is called user 12. And then here we've got another one that was assigned. So those are some of the types of notification that you would get. Then I'm going to skip the settings one moment here and go straight into the avatar. So your avatar, your picture would come in here, and that picture, your picture would be here. If you click the picture, your avatar would open up, and then you've got your picture here. You've got your name that would be here, your email address, what role and profile you've been given on the system, your user ID. Your user ID helps when, for example, you're talking to Zoho and there's a particular issue that's happening to your account. In the event that that does happen, then they may ask for the user ID. This makes it easier for them to identify exactly which user they're trying to look at. So this is where you'd get that. You're able to also show here your availability, meaning this would be your way of telling the system that you're not on shift anymore, for example, or at the end of your day or your shift, you just switch off that availability, for example. And if you've got ticket automation where tickets are assigned automatically by the system, which you're able to do, then those tickets won't be assigned to that specific person because they're no longer available on shift, and it will allocate to only those that are on shift, as an example. Then here to show where you're online for chat or email as well. So in some cases, in a contact center environment in particular, I might come to work in this case because we've got email and chat. So let's say, for example, you see WhatsApp there and you see WhatsApp there as part of it, or social, right? Then here you'd be able to say, maybe I come in the morning and today I'm only supposed to do email, for example. So I would be offline on the rest, and then I would be online only on email. If I'm on live chat, then I'm only online on live chat, or I'm online on all of them. So you'd be able to pick and choose that. And then because in a lot of contact center situations, someone will be dealing with particularly one mode or channel of communication when they enter the business, because there's so much traffic. You want someone to be focused on, for example, on email. Maybe the whole week they're just doing emails and they only switch on and become online only for email, and that's what they manage for the rest of for that week, for example. Okay. You are able to manage some of your preferences in terms of how the desk appears, right? So for those who like night mode or dark mode, like I do, then you'd be able to do that. And now you can see that the color has changed, or maybe you put it on auto, whatever works better for you. You are able to put in themes, your color theme for the platform. So here it's blue. I can choose red, for example, and then the color scheme, this is red and black, and then the color theme has changed here. From the blue that we are on, you can choose the display font that you want to use on the platform. And then you're able to use display font size. So you can make it larger if, for example, you need to see bigger characters in order to make your life easy, right? So you're able to choose whatever font size works for you as well. And those are some of the things you're able to configure. You have even accessibility controls as well, where you can increase the contrast of what you see. So here's a level 3 contrast, for example. You see that it has changed. I can see a lot of lines and borders and the like. You can put in a reading mask so that you can focus on the area where you are reading, as an example. You are able to do a focus ring, and on the places where you are able to, underline any links. So anything that can be the clickable link immediately is underlined. So if I remove that underlining, you can see that then that underlining is gone. You are able to to adjust your zoom in terms of what you see. Okay, I overdid that a little bit. Okay, So you're able to do your zoom there in terms of how you see information, right? You're able to, oh, okay, sorry, let's put in the zoom to, okay, there we go. You're able to do zoom. So right now it's 112, maybe get it to 100. Okay, so you're able to zoom in. So you're able to do a lot of things. You can do a screen reader where it reads to you, as opposed to you necessarily being able to, maybe you've got issues reading what will be on screen. You can have a reader for the various things that you want, so that it reads out that content to you. So you have a lot of accessibility there. You've got mobility. You have keyboard shortcuts. You can have keyboard shortcuts, and then you're able to view those shortcuts and use those shortcuts. For example, I know a lot of people who like shortcuts, so they'll rather use those, and that's on some of the preferences that you're able to set up. You're able to sign out here at the bottom on that same avatar when you click it as well. Okay. Then I'm just going to go through the settings here and just explain the channels that we've looked at before. So you're able to set up the email channel. So you'll be able to set it up in emails here, and automatically you get a support email address. From day one, you get a support email address. How you use this in order to change to use yours. So for example, we use support at infolytics.co.za, but we still use this one that comes default, because that will be the only one that will be default in terms of receiving support emails. You cannot add your own email here, your own email with your own domain here. You can only add those with the domain that you'll be given when you set up Zoho Desk. How you then get your support email to bring emails into Desk is you would go to your support email, support at what your company domain is, and then you forward all emails from that inbox. When they reach that inbox, they will automatically be forwarded into this email address, and that ticket is automatically created. So that's how you get tickets into Desk. And then your email address can be used as the from address. So you've got support in Infolytics, support at infolytics.co, which we use. When we reply, the email is then put on the from address. We remove the ones that come default. And then when someone is replying there, when someone sends us an email, they're sending to support at Infolytics. When we send them a reply back, we are sending from support at Infolytics. Although there is a box that is within your email environment where that email is actually landing first before it's forwarded into Zoho Desk. Okay. And you're able to authenticate that email address or your domain, so that your domain when your email goes to anyone, it's not received as spam. So that authentication is very important. Then still on that, we've got the help center. So what is the help center? This is where either all your customers are able to log in and view all the tickets that you're working on with them, and also log their own tickets. You can do it for all your entire customer base, or in some cases you can do it just for a selected customer base, where maybe you want those ones to be able to log tickets directly. So when they log tickets directly, they actually log in into your portal. They actually log in into your portal, and in that portal, the portal will look something like this. So you have customizations in terms of what you want the look and feel and the colors to be. And then if we go customize, we can preview what that would look like. Okay, so this is the portal where your customers would log in, and we're going to go through that as well. So I'll keep that tab open. Then on that, still on our settings, there is the chat, which is the live chat, the community, which we've talked about, the social, the phone, so you can integrate your telephony system depending on what your telephony is, but it has to be a cloud PBX or hosted PBX of some sort. In South Africa, we've got IP Telecom, and 3CX, I think, can be integrated directly into Zoho Desk. And then you've also got web forms where you can create web forms, and those web forms can be used to create tickets where you can put them directly on your website, for example. You've got ASAP, which is an applet that you are able to install if you have one. If you have an app, if you have a mobile application, when you set up your mobile application, you can put in the applet, whether it's iOS or it's Android. Once you install that applet, then customers from your mobile app are able to seek support or even do live chat directly from your mobile application. And then there's instant messaging, which then gives us WhatsApp, Telegram, and the like. You are able to put in your company details, You are able to put in your branding, like your logos, your logos and icons or favicons there, so that this icon changes and also this logo changes to your own, and you're also able to map your domain so that your support platform is support.your domain. So in our case, support.infolytics.co.za, for example. So there are some of the things you're able to do in terms of the setup. Then going into the ticketing itself, when someone raises a ticket, which we're going to do now, let's say, for example, via email. So this is our customer. This is the email address we're going to be using to send that email. And then they put in their content. Okay. Then they send that ticket through. We will receive it directly in the tickets module here when they send that. What happens is it takes a moment, is received by the ticketing system, then it analyzes it, and then it creates a ticket for that. That ticket, when it comes through, would look something like this. Okay. So the subject here is already there, which is testing. It has captured the details of our customer and their email address, and then it automatically responds to them as well with a notification that a ticket has been created on their behalf. Right. It will capture the email address and contact info and name automatically from the email itself, depending on what the email naming is. So in this case, it would capture this one as just Tobias on the name, and then capture the email address. Then here you would be able to see, okay, so this is what they sent us, and when did they send us that information, and from whom it was. And then if we reply, or if we were to reply, we would reply here, and then this will become a thread, which you will see shortly. And then we reply, we're very happy to hear from you. How can we assist? Or maybe this is the issue. Can you explain it further? Whatever it is that you are responding to. And you can see here there's already a rating. And this rating is talking about whether they think our service is good or bad, depending on how we're interacting with them already. And then we can send that to the customer using the blue button here at the end. We are also able to send and close if maybe this issue is we've just resolved the issue immediately, and then we send and close, meaning the ticket is closed. A closed ticket means that that issue has been resolved in terms of what we think in terms of our resolution, but we are responding to the customer. Then they are also able to look at it and say it has truly been resolved. If the customer responds to this ticket and we have resolved it, that ticket will automatically be reopened because of the customer reply. You can set it not to, but by default, it will reopen that particular ticket. So now we've responded to this customer in terms of what they had said to us, for example. And just as a highlight here, we've got our ticket, the one that we sent via email from this Gmail address called Lightwell, is coming already. And then if we go there, we can see the information that that particular customer is sent on. And you can see here the time. The time is, I'm not sure which region this is, but it's 2 minutes ago when that was created. And when that ticket comes in, if it's not automatically assigned, which you can do, you would be able to pick it up yourself. So you can come in here and say pick, or you can assign it to another person using that. So I'm going to use the pick in this instance, and then the name of our demo account is immediately here. Right? Even the picture that we're using is immediately attached to that. Here we are able to set a due date manually if that is what we need to do, or the system is also able to set that date for you automatically depending on the priorities that you've set. You can tag a ticket, so put in any tags, maybe it's a callback, maybe it's for a specific product, and tags are pretty easy to add in, because once you write one that isn't available on the system, it will ask for if you're adding a new tag. If you say yes, then that becomes the new tag that is now available on the system automatically. You are able to update ticket information, for example, maybe the customer's phone number, and save that. You are able to put in the product if it's for a specific product. And now that ticket now we know that this is the subject, it's related to this particular product. You're able to put in a priority on that ticket. The channel is already labeled as email because we received this ticket from email. You can even put the language if that's what you want, right? So you've got all the South African languages, I think, covered on the platform, and various other languages as well from a lot of different countries covered there. You're also able to classify it. This classification can be customized to suit your organization. Maybe this one is a problem. and then I'm able to save that. Okay. And you also have within that ticket, when you open it, here we said we're the subject, you have the ID number for that ticket, and you're able to copy that ID. You're able to copy the URL. Maybe you want to send it to one of your team members, or maybe you want to copy some of the metadata as well. From there, you are able to see what the customer name is as extracted from their email. You are able to see when the ticket was created and the current priority. If you do time entry at your organization, someone would be able to start a timer here as they're handling that ticket. So they start the timer, they do the things that are needed to be done, and then once they're done, they can click stop for that timer. If the timer is billed, you are able to bill from the timesheets that are created, because once I've got that timer, then time entry here is entered for that time. And you can allocate a dollar value or a rand value to the time that is being taken. And you are able to allocate a rate for each one of your users. So you can allocate them a rate so that when they capture their time, this is automatically calculated in the moment in terms of what the rate you're going to be billing your customers at. So that takes care of your timesheets as an organization. There's a question here. Okay. So the question is, how do we manage or handle or escalation, custom timer or escalation rule? Okay. So in terms of the escalation rule, okay, so let me pack that and then finish what I'm explaining, and then I'll go into how you do the escalations side of things. Thank you, Kobe. Then, okay, then here we've got time entries that are there. You've also got a resolution here. So the resolution, I may have resolved the customer issue by replying to them and telling them that the issue is resolved, right? And by the way, I'm just doing this for the test, but this would be a proper email where you are writing to the customer to the customer and then informing them, right? So and this goes out as a proper email. You are able to actually add your signature to the platform as well, and that email signature will be used automatically whenever you start creating an email. So let's say I've resolved this issue by actually going to the customer, sending the customer the resolution, but I want to resolve it, right? And I want others to be able to use the same resolution. So here would go to resolution, right? And then in this case, this is what was done to resolve the issue, right? So now this is what was done to resolve the issue. We explain that resolution, and then here we can choose to notify the contact. So if we've notified them on conversations already, we may not need to notify them, but this is now for the purposes of internal purposes. When someone meets a similar issue, they might be able to reference that other ticket based on this resolution because it's in its own space, how it was resolved. So here, once you're done, you can save the resolution. But you can save that when you save the resolution, you can also choose to edit as an article, meaning that it will go straight to your knowledge base as well. So it can be this type of ticket was resolved in this way and is now part of your knowledge base. And this will automatically be the knowledge base that is only internal facing. So you're able to do that, for example. And then if it's not going to be on the articles, then I'm going to save that. Okay. So now we've got a resolution that is linked to this type of issue, this ticket, whereby we know that this was the product and the classification of the problem is fully classified as well. And then now we know, so if I am to search tickets that are for this product and also for this classification, how they were resolved, that ticket would come up and I'm able to take notes from that resolution and try to resolve the same way. And hopefully that will work for my resolution. It means you also have a less of a task training new employees as well because they're able to reference some of these things directly from the desk. Okay. Then time entries as well. Besides starting and playing, you are able to manually add time entries, right? So you didn't start or click the play, you are able to manually put it in. So maybe it was 1 hour that you did something on there. All of these things would be automatic if you've set them up for on the person's profile. They would automatically appear, and then they can put in the description of what work was done, right? And then here they can choose whether it's billing or non-billing. So capturing both non-billing and billing is good in that you can account for everyone's time for every day, for example. And if it's billing, then you can select billing and then you can save that. So now we've got an hour worth of time that has been consumed by this individual. You're also able to do attachments. These attachments are not seen by the customer. These are attachments that are related to the ticket itself. So you're able to do attachments onto the platform. Okay, so now we've got an attachment. You're able to do activities. So let's say they say, call me later. You want to assist them, you call them, you raise the ticket with us. I would like to assist you. Then I know, call me later. Maybe I'll only be free in an hour's time. So then you can come in here. You can name, give your call a subject, call to resolve. It's an outbound call. It's a schedule. When do you want that call to start? So maybe it's 11. Here you can put in a damage duration, and then you can put in the description of what you want to talk about, but it's already related to your ticket, which is this one. And then you can save that. Okay. You're also able to do the same if it's a meeting or a meeting that you're scheduling with them or a task that you want to do with them. Okay. So you're able to create a task for that. I won't go through that in order to try and manage the time a little bit. And then you've also got an event as part of that as well. So that would be your meeting. So you're able to do that as well, set up a meeting in related again to the ticket as well. And then you're also able to do approvals. So you may have things that you want to do to resolve a customer issue, but there's an approval required. So you would go here into the approval module, submit for approval. So I'm going to go test, put in the subject and then the description, select who is supposed to approve for you. Hopefully you're selecting someone who has the authority to do that, but you're able to see all the users, select the approver, and then send that for approval. Only the approver that will be added there would be able to approve. You can add multiple approvals if you want to for that particular approval process. So you're able to add multiple approvers, and then they would all need to also approve that request. So that's what you're able to do. And then everything that happens with the ticket is a ticket history, right? Where you're able to see what happened with every ticket at every moment of the way. So here is a breakdown of what we did with our ticket from start to finish as well. Then moving on and trying to address a question that was here in terms of how do you manage the escalation rules. So let's say this ticket is past the due date and you want it to escalate so that someone who manages that that agent or user knows that there's an issue with this ticket not being resolved. You would create your escalation rules, right? So here you'd come into escalate. Okay, let me try loading that. Not sure what happened. Maybe it's a demo issue. Okay, so here you'd come into escalations. So by default, you have these priority-based SLAs. So let's look at the first one, the priority-based SLA. So here it says when you want to when do you want to execute the SLA? This is on ticket create. If the priority is high, it's going to give us 6 hours, right? If the priority is medium, it's going to give us 1 day to resolve. If the priority is 2 days. Let's add our own target, for example, and then here we'll say priority, or let's say maybe customer, right? We want to resolve by customer. So this is how you'd create, contact name. This is how you'd create the SLA that you want. So I'll put in my name here, and then you want to respond within. So you have two types of SLAs that you can put in. There's a response SLA. So when should someone have responded by? So if I, the customer, create a ticket, how long should I have been responded by? So for some organizations, if you're B2C in particular, maybe it's in a matter of 30 minutes. If it's B2B, maybe it's an hour or two. It just depends on how you're managing that support. So maybe here we want to respond within an hour, but you can do within 1 minute, for example. You want that response to go out, or maybe even 30 minutes. You want that response to go out. And then here is resolving. So meaning that the ticket should be resolved or closed within a certain period of time. Maybe for this one is 2 hours, right? And then here you can select which hours you want to use. So calendar hours is the default, but you have business. If you have created business hours on the platform, then you're able to select the business hours on that. And then here you can say on this response, what do you want to measure? Do you want to measure every single response that your customers, when your customers email you back, do you want every response that goes out to them to go out within 30 minutes? Then if yes, then you leave it like this. If no, you only want to measure for the first response, then you switch that on. Okay. Then if they don't get responded within the time, you can escalate it. So here we're going to say when to escalate. So when that 30-minute passes, where on that time we can escalate to a specific person, right? So that they know that this has not been responded to within our set times. So this could be SLAs that have been agreed to the customers or that have been broadcasted or published already on an online platform where we're supposed to respond within that period. In some cases, when we have SLAs with customers, this could have a bearing on the revenue that we are incurring. Maybe there are fines there, maybe they don't have to pay for the service, something that you may have promised to that customer. So we want it escalated on time to the relevant person so that they can quickly get to it. So it might be the person's manager, or it might be a more senior person. Then this would be the escalation person. So when you said this is an escalation for them to be notified. But you can, and then this is the template, the email template that then goes out, to notify the agent as well that the ticket has been escalated. Then you are also able to, you can see here as well, where you want, if you want the ticket owner to change on that escalation, so that maybe the senior agent is now dealing with that issue and quickly responds to the customer, you can do that as well. And then you can change the priority if that's what you want to do at that point. Because maybe if it is past where it's supposed to be, then it needs to become a higher priority. So you're able to do that. I hope that answers you, Kobe, on the escalation rules. And then you then can do the resolution escalation, which works exactly the same way, only that this only occurs when the time when the due date for the ticket has passed. I hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you. Then the next question was, how do we set up a ticket to be closed but not completed? Close only when product is collected for a repair. So you can do it in two ways. You can have two types of resolution code. So one can be resolved and one can be completed, as an example, right? Or closed, meaning that there is a part that is missing. So you can have two stages where you have a closed and a. So you'd have one, they'll both be closed statuses, but one of them would be resolved, as an example, or in your case closed, and then the next one would be the completed one. So just as an example of how you'd see that, so you'd go into statuses here, and then on those statuses, you are able to create. So we've got a closed one here already, and then maybe we can add the status, and then we'll call it completed, and then we can. It's still a closed status, and then this one maybe we don't fall back to default. So what fall back to default means is when a customer responds to this one that is said closed, it will go back to the open state. But if I have this not ticked, then it remains closed. And then because now we want them to raise a new ticket. So that could be one thing. You can also use an on hold, because if there is something that's being done in the process, maybe it's on hold until that process is completed. So you can use that option as well. I hope that answers the second question in that regard. Okay. All right. I see the thumbs up. Then going back to our tickets. Okay. Going back to our tickets. In our tickets, we are able to talk to our colleagues on the ticket and about the ticket. And how we do that is by coming here into the comment section. So I'll be able to specify the person's name by clicking at, and then talking to that specific person, mentioning them, and then saying how you, for example, and then can you assist with this? And then that goes directly to them when I say comment. So they get a notification on that. The comments can also be public, meaning the customer, if you want the customer to be able to see these, you make them public in the Op Center, and then they'll be able to see this. But in this case, we'll just do that comment as private, and then our person gets a notification. All of these, you can do as many of these as you want. Only the people in the team would be able to see them as long as they're marked as private. Then you're also able to follow a ticket. So there's a ticket that's not yours, but you want to follow it. You can just open the ticket and then follow it. So this will tell you what changes are happening to that ticket when a customer replies, when a comment is made, because maybe you are interested in it. You may be the supervisor and you're particularly interested in how this particular issue or ticket for that specific customer goes. You can follow it. You can also follow customers, which I won't be able to show you because we are running out of time. But you're able to share as well. Let's say share or move a ticket. Move a ticket it's required to be escalated to another department. You're able to move it to that particular department. Right? Share is when you're sharing to, so that the other department will be able to see it. So you are now able to see that ticket together, meaning that, and what that means is that ticket still resides with the current department, but that other department is able to see that. ticket. And then here you can consider whether you want strict access, read-only access in terms of that ticket, and then you can share it with them. And then now they have full access to that ticket, but it's still within your particular department, as an example. So that's some of the things that you're able to do with your tickets. If a ticket comes in and it's someone who's spamming you, are able to mark it as spam. It will also ask you if you want the contact to become spam. And if you say yes, whatever that contact will send to you next time, you will never see it. It will just sit in spam. And after 30 days, all those records get deleted automatically by the system. Then you are also able to delete a ticket or clone a ticket. Maybe they sent 3 issues into one ticket. You can clone them and then make them separate tickets so that you can resolve one by one, because maybe those things require to be solved one by one. Although the customer made it easier for themselves to raise it a single ticket, you can split them and then make them multiple tickets as well. Okay. And then finally, your knowledge base, just to let you see how easy it can be. So here I'm going to visit our website, and let's say our website is what we want to use to become the knowledge base, right? So it could be information on your website or anywhere else. So you would go to your website, for example. You're able to even copy all the information as is from your website. Okay, let's just see all the information that we have, images and all, and we're able to have that. So if it's a document, where the information is, or something else, you are able to quickly go and copy that information, go to your knowledge base, for example, say add in an article, and then you are able to paste directly from your document. So as you can see here, it almost all of the information came in from the website, and then you can try to restructure it and so on in order for it to look better. And then you've got your knowledge base as well. So if it's documents, you're able to copy and paste them in. Images, you're able to put in videos. So here you can embed a video, embed the HTML, insert a table, insert any coding that you may have written yourself in order to display the information the way that you want to display it. You're also able to attach videos and images and so on directly onto the platform as well. So that's how you're able to use your knowledge base. Then finally, your customers, what your customers will be able to see, they'll be able to sign in, go into their areas, create tickets, view the knowledge base, what you have given them, also search articles as well that are there in terms of what they've got there. So that's a high level of what you're able to use Zoho Desk in. Hopefully we have another session, and then we can continue the content of that session from there. Oh, actually, my apologies. I actually misguided the time. We still have 30 more minutes. So we're going to continue from here. Okay. If there are any more questions, please also add them to the platform, as I'll go back to some of the things that we were trying to go through here together, because I got a little hurried there, assuming that our time was almost over. Okay. So going back to our ticket, we are immediately able to have access to our customer directly from the ticket. And if we, as you can see here, it highlights, if we wanted to see the customer information, we are able to go into the customer themselves, and we're able to edit their properties. So here we can edit the contact properties. Let's name our customer here. So we're going to call them support. That will be their first name, and then their last name is that. Right. And then this will be their email. This is their email address. If they are associated to a company, we're able to look up the company if we have it in our database. And let's assume that maybe their company is Doubtfire Inc. We associate them to that company. We put in any other contact details. We put in their job title as well if we have that. And now we've got a more robust customer. Okay. Here it's asking us if we want them to be associated with the account, meaning that the tickets will reflect in the account Doubtfire. Okay. Then now we've got a more robust contract, so to speak. But here, the interesting thing on our contract is we're able to see how many tickets they've ever raised with us, whether they are closed or open or overdue. It will affect here all of the tickets. It will tell us how many are open, how many are overdue, and how they have rated us as the customer. So here, if we go to that email address for that customer, we're able to see, oh, okay, so this is what the resolution was, but they're immediately also able to rate us, right? It might fail here because I'm logged in, but let's try. It should tell us that we cannot rate on behalf of customers because we are logged in. So it senses that as well. So your agents can't dupe the system, so to speak. So let me see if I can use it somewhere else. Okay. And then here I'm going to rate good, and then I'm going to put in great stuff, good work as the response, submit that. And then now we've got a rating for our ticket. And then maybe the customer also replies, and then they send that. And then over here on our ticketing system, if we refresh our customer, we would be able to see the rating. So now here it's now 100%. We can see here we've got a notification, and then here it's telling us there's a response from our customer on that particular ticket. Here as well, while we're in their profile, we're able to see the history of the tickets. So they've responded to this ticket here. So anything that they do interacting with our help desk, they're able to see any activities that are done in conjunction with that customer, the tickets, all of them, and what status they're in, happiness ratings, we're able to see that. Even great stuff, good work is there. The time entries, all there. The products that they use, we're able to associate them with the product. So we create them, and then we're able to say, okay, so which products is this customer using? And then we are able to allocate them to that particular product, for example, or service. We are able to attach various things. Maybe it's their details, ID, whatever it is, depending on what your customer requires from your, what you require from your customers. You are also able to make comments in and around the customer, right? And again, these comments do the same way where you are able to mention someone in the comments, right? And then you make a comment. This is also private, so the customer never sees these comments. These are internal. And then also here you're able to add the ticket into their profile. Right? So we're going to add a ticket here. This would be the description. So we're adding a ticket manually onto the system. It's captured all their contact details automatically. We select a product name. So here this time, because we attached a product, we should be able to, okay, we didn't see one. We were supposed to be able to see the product there. Maybe it takes time to update. We select the product that is in question. We put in our due date for our ticket. So then here we can confirm where we are getting the ticket from. Maybe they called us, Twitter, email, wherever it is. We're able to select that. It automatically assumes telephony because normally all the other channels come in automatically. Then maybe we put in a priority, a classification, and then we submit. We can put in attachment as well, and then we submit, and then now we've got a ticket for that customer. So now when this ticket is created, you see here on the history, it should immediately indicate as well what has occurred. So the ticket was created, ticket language was detected. In this case, it detected Welsh, maybe because we scribbled. And then a service level agreement, the priority-based SLA, was then applied to the ticket automatically. And then now we've automatically got a counter for when that ticket is due as well. And yeah, so we immediately have that in terms of the ticket history itself. If you're on Zoho One, which a lot of you are likely to be on, you also have Zoho Assist. And Zoho Assist, you're able to remote assist a customer directly from the ticket that they've raised. So you can create an assist session and then assist them remotely from your machine over to their machine, where you can take control of that machine, and then that becomes part of the ticket sessions that you initiated and part of the ticket history as well that you initiated in Assist setup. And Assist record also does screen recording of whatever actions you took while on the customer platform as well, or on the customer machine as well. So that's how you handle your tickets and how you handle your customers as well. Going back to the customer, you are able to follow a customer if you go to these three dots here. Again, you can see the tickets that are now open and where those tickets came from. All that now is starting to be captured. When you do resolve a ticket, they need to start capturing your first response resolution time as well. So if we go back into one of these tickets, I'm gonna go into the first one, and then let's resolve this ticket, right? And then it will indicate here that it's closed. And then if we go, okay, and then if we go into our contacts, then we will see which ones have been. So we've got 2 tickets closed. I think let's refresh that so that maybe the update can happen of the various things. Okay, I think it takes a moment. So, but soon we should be able to see the reports here starting to show us the first response times, the response time, the resolution time. And the more you close, the more it calculates these things and averages them out in terms of the agent's performance and also the team's performance for that particular customer as well. Then you are also, if you come to these 3 dots, you're also able to edit your customer, follow your customer. So if you want to follow this customer, if you click them, now you're following them. You're also able to see other followers on this left panel here. So this is the followers, and you're able to see other followers as well. And if you're connected to CRM, you're able to see the CRM contact information for that specific customer if they're on the CRM side. So that's how you'd be able to see what information about this person is actually on CRM. Then in that, you see this one that say add as end user. So this one adds the customer as an end user on the portal, this one. So that's where they'll be added by doing that. So if I say add as end user, it will ask me, it will send them an invitation. So now we've invited them to a Help Center. Right. If we go back here, it will say re-invite. So someone says, I didn't see the invite, you can click that for them to get the re-invite. If we go back to the email address, you see this here, service portal invitation. So we go there, they can accept the invitation, and here they'll be required to create a password. Let's give that a moment. Okay, so we're going to generate one from the system, register that, and now we are logged in. And then once we log in, they have an opportunity to change their details if one of them is wrong. So there's an opportunity to do that. Add in more details as well. Add in maybe their social media as well, and then also details of the country they're in, the time zone, time format they want to see. So this is their specifications, and then they can save that. Okay. So now we've got them in as a user. Here they can manage their profile if they want to. Here they can have a watch list. So if they want to follow certain articles, they can follow certain articles that have been published so that when an update comes on that article, they will get a notification as well. So that's how you keep your customers informed. So maybe it's about when you updates to your product. So you put them on this one page and then they follow that. And then whenever you do an update of a new product and then you launch the information there, they get a notification each time for that information. So they can choose what to watch. They can also put in their own image on the platform. They're able to come in here to the home page. They're able to go to the knowledge base if there's information there. Let me see if we can publish something onto the knowledge base directly from the platform. So if we go to our knowledge base, see if there's an article that is there. Hopefully, okay, so nothing. Let's do what we did with the website and just paste it all and then save it and then publish it. Okay. So we're going to publish this. Oh, we need a title, sorry. Okay. And we give it a title. Then here we can say agents only. What I was talking about when we were, if you want it to be internal facing, and then if you want it to be outward facing, then you say registered users or all registered users. And then here we're going to publish it. Okay. So now we've got a registered an article, right? So hopefully you would have done a better job at making it look nice than I have. And then if you go back to the customer's login, which is this one, which is their profile, then we should be able to see this article, right? So now we've got a article Infolytics page. Okay, it's not complete, but now if they open it, they would be able to see it in this way. So this is the article as it's coming out on the customer end. Like I said, maybe hopefully you would have done a better job at designing it. And then here they can say whether it's helpful and vote it up, for example, or vote it down if they don't like it, or vote it down if they like it. They're also able to print it or download it as PDF so that it's downloadable into a PDF and they're able to use that as well. It's got a small menu here that automatically gets created depending on the structure that you've set up on the document as well. And then they're able to go to their area, and in their area they're able to see the tickets that they would have raised, right? So here it's my open tickets, which is here. But if they say my tickets, then they should be able to see all the tickets. So I think we've got 2 tickets with them. One is open, one is closed. So they're able to do that. They're also able to add a ticket to you, right? And you are here, you are able to say which fields you want them to be able to see or not see. Right. They're even able to select the product name. If you want them to see this field, they can go to a product and select that. A priority, they can even do classification and even attach files directly. And then when they submit, that ticket goes in, and now that becomes a ticket on the platform. So if we go back to our platform, we'll see here that a new ticket has been created, I believe. Oh, okay, new ticket has been created there. So just now. And then if we go to our tickets, we will see the ticket that they've just created there. Right. And then going back to the customer profile, if they go back, they're able to reply. They're also able to comment on the ticket. right? And that is if you allow them to comment. So they're also able to comment on the ticket, but on their end, because they won't have the access to name or mention anyone there. So here they can comment, and then that adds a comment to that ticket as well. So if we were to go into our ticket, we should be able to see the customer comment. So here is the customer comment for that ticket. We are able to see all their comments, but they're not able to see any of ours. And then that will be part of that they're able to see any ticket that is raised by them. If it's a company and they're associated with a company, you can have them see all the tickets raised by other team members within the company as well. So that's how they'll be able to manage themselves on the platform. But here as well, they're able to click here and quickly submit a ticket, which is always available to them, no matter which page they're in. But they're also able to engage us using live chat directly. On that live chat, there, depending on what you want to do, you can have them be able to call or chat as well. So this is a online call from the live chat on their side to the live chat internally on your side, or they can do live chat. Okay. So, or they can do live chat. So here they would have started a conversation with live chat, and here's telling them if there is someone here to assist them. Then if I go back into the platform, you see it here at the bottom right hand corner, and then I can accept the chat. If I decline it, they get a decline response, but if I accept, then it will open up in live chat. Under the chat here, as you can see now underlined here is the chat, and I'm able to start a conversation with this customer. And they would be able to see it directly here. Okay. And now we've got an ongoing conversation between us and the customer for that. So this does not necessarily have to create a ticket automatically, although you can have it create a ticket, but you can then say, okay, so now I want to create a ticket for it, right? And then now we've got a ticket for that. And if we go back to our desk, within our desk, see if I can do that quickly. And now we've got a ticket that says testing need your help, 1, 2, 3, 4 need your help, which is how we started that chat. That becomes the title of that ticket. And then we're able to converse with the customer and assist them fully via the chat. We can still close the chat without closing the ticket itself. So maybe I did not resolve it. So what I'll do then is now I'm closing the chat. Thank you for contacting us. And then here I will be able to close the chat. So sometimes you're closing it because the person did not respond in time. So here you can put in like a close chat after 30 seconds, and then it will start ringing on their end. You'll do this, and it will say, start doing the countdown. It also has a sound so that maybe they come back to the chat and then re-engage. If they re-engage, then that alarm stops and it's no longer stopping the chat. If not, then it will finally close, or you can close immediately. So now we've closed it immediately, but we know we've got a ticket and our ticket is still open. So I can immediately click here and go straight into my ticket. And then now what I'm trying to do is to see if I can resolve it. And when I do resolve it, I can close that ticket. Okay. So now I've got a closed ticket, and here the channel is automatically named as chat. So that's what we're able to do using Zoho Desk, meaning your customers, whatever they use, you are able to assist them using that medium. And then, okay, so now we've got that on chat. We've done the live chat bit. Then if you go to the customers module, you have two differentiations of your customer. There's the contact and the account, right? The contact are the people, the account are normally the companies that they work for, or you can use it as an account, as in giving everyone an account, even though you deal with individuals. So you can do that as well. But the reason why you have that separation is to create a one-to-many relationship where you can have one person, 10 people, right, who work for one account. So then those 10 people will be related to the same account or company, right? So you're able to do that. And then here, while you're in the contacts, you are able to search using that search icon that we did. So if I click search because we're in contacts, it says contacts here. But you're also able to do it by alphabetical order. So if I say I want to see the J's here, then anything with the J would be the, okay, what happened? Anything with the J would be what I've seen. So you can see here. Now only the things that are starting with a J are what I see. Or I can go for Q if there are any Q, then it would appear there. So clearly there isn't. Maybe it's an I. So here we can see our person who we're currently assisting is there, customer who is there. We can go also to accounts, right? And in accounts, we would be able to find, we're looking for Doubtfire Inc., which is the company we used in this instance. If we go to the company, we'd be able to see how many people associated with that company once we open it, and then we go to contacts here. Everything else seems the same as when you're on the contact, but then the difference is that you can see all the contacts that are related to this particular company / account. Okay. So that's one of the things that you're able to see there. Then, okay, so that's how you how you manage or see the accounts and the contacts area. Okay. Then you've finally got the reporting side of things. So you've got a lot of reports that you have access to that come with the platform. And one other application I want to pull your attention to is a mobile application for Zoho Desk, but it's not the Zoho Desk application. It's called Radar for Zoho Desk. So Radar for Zoho Desk is a mobile application that helps you that just does only reporting. It's available for you on Android and on the iOS App Store. It only does reporting. That's the only thing that you do there. You download it, you use your same credentials that you have on Zoho Desk, and then it gives you a reporting, which is easy to use, easy to view, and it's very insightful in terms of what you get there on Radar. Okay. Then here you have an overview dashboard. You can see how many tickets are open. Now this is in general, and this is over the last 24 hours, what the standing is. You have seen how many tickets are on hold, how many are overdue, how many are due today, unassigned due in 1 hour, unassigned tickets. You can see how many those are. And from this report, you'll be able to click and it will take you to where those things are. All right. So these are unassigned, so we need to unassign them. So I can quickly get there and assign these tickets. So this helps you not to miss anything that might have been missed earlier. I assigned them. Now they are assigned. I can go back to my dashboard. So I go back to my dashboard. I can see how many tickets are new, 4, how many are on hold, how many tickets have been closed, how many do we have on the backlog in terms of the tickets that have not yet been resolved, and then traffic analysis, where our tickets coming from. This is in the last 24 hours where they come from, the average handling time, first response time, and also the resolution time. And then the happiness rating is also part of that. So now this is averaging for everything. You can extend this time and say, for example, you want to see it over the last 30 days, right? And then now you've got the statistics as they look for the last 30 days as well. So that's how you are able to do and see an overview for your desk in terms of reporting. But you have other reports that are there. You've got an SLA dashboard. So this speaks to how many tickets have violated their SLA, what is your time. Now again, this is based on all SLAs, all violations, all teams, all agents within the last 24 hours. If we stretch that, then those numbers change. Now we've got 2 violated SLA tickets, 2 SLA violations, residual time, average violation time. So how long are they violating for? And then SLA violated tickets, and then adherence visa violation. So violated is 100%. And then again here, adherence versus violated instances, then again that's 100%. So all this is bad. So we're supposed to have a little bit more of adherence tickets over a period. Priority-based SLAs, we're able to see them, how many have been applied and how many have been violated in that regard. And then violations by time, the time of day where those violations are happening, and then violations by status. So just as a highlight, this might help you see, oh, okay, this is maybe a shift change. So maybe this is why we're having this issue, or this is when everyone has gone home, or something of that sort. So you're able to see that violation by status, what status it's on. So this one is open. And then by the channels, both the violated tickets are from the phone channel. You are able to see the ticket status dashboard. So you can see open tickets by status, how many they are and what status they're in. Open ticket status by state. So are they in the open state, on hold state, or closed state, right? Which state are they in? Reopen tickets, if any. So when someone replies, it reopens the ticket. So that's what those are some of those. Average handling time by status. So average handling time by each status. So open is, so we're spending about 950 hours, but that's also that's because we're not really closing the tickets when we do this demo. And then unassigned tickets, average ending time is 1,400 hours, for example. But for the assigned ones, it's taking 16 minutes on average to resolve them. So the issue here would be we're not assigning tickets fast enough, maybe. You are able to see customer happiness, what the comments are, and you're able to do this per agent. So for a lot of these reports, you're able to see it per specific agent. If you select the agent, what do you see, and then you're able to to sit with an agent and actually tell them you are violating tickets, your customers are not happy with your service, and so on, and then try to help each other or congratulate them when they're doing the exact opposite and they're performing on all fronts. So you're able to do that in terms of performance. You also have your Excel looking reports, just like this one. Let's say agent performance, last 24 hours. You can see user 12 here is they have two responses. You have first responses that are running, first call resolution of a ticket, closed tickets, reopen tickets, and so on. So you're able to see how each agent is performing on the Excel-like reports. So there are various Excel-like reports that you would have access to. So this is incoming threads on those tickets. This is on the reopen tickets. Okay, so we don't have any reopened. Then there is resolved tickets. Last 24 hours, we can stretch that to last 30 days and see what that looks like. We can also specify the agent as well in terms of their performance. Okay, I think we have run out of time, but when we do the next one, we'll be able to continue from there. But Zoho Desk is very interesting in terms of how you can assist your customers from every channel and ensure that you maintain service levels as agreed to your customers or as published on your website or any other area where you are telling people what type of service and how quickly they can get serviced within your organization. You can also account for people's time as well as use it to bill out that time to your individual customers based on the issue that they have raised with you. In that, you're able to actually put in the exact SLA for a customer using the contracts module within the CRM. So if you go to a contact, or a customer, you would be able to place a specific SLA on that customer as well using the contracts area. So you'd be able to put in a specific SLA, and then whenever they create a ticket or raise a ticket with you, that SLA is immediately being applied to that ticket. So you're able to do that as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me for Zoho Desk. Hopefully, we'll have one more in the future, and then we'll be able to take you through more stuff about Zoho Desk in particular. Okay. Seems like there's a question. Oh, it's okay. So that was the thank you. Thank you, Jean-Marie. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.